not sure if you guys remember, but I got a Mini Cooper, and that's me work on it, or at least trying to work on it. So let me throw you guys back. You guys don't understand how I got here. Today we're gonna start the Mini Cooper project, and this is gonna be a different one. I never worked with this platform before, and I'm pretty excited to do a couple things between suspension, bodywork, everything you can do, right? Let me stop here so you can understand why I got this car, because I'm not a Mini Cooper guy. I never thought I would get a Mini Cooper. So if you didn't watch the video when I picked up the car, just a little summary for you, right? So this car was available for me to get, was sitting for a couple of months, was a good deal. I was like, you know, I'll get it without knowing anything that was wrong with it. So I got it. That was parked in my driveway for a couple of weeks, and then I started work on it. So at this point, I didn't know exactly what was wrong besides the damage on the bumper. Saw how painful it was to remove the wheels. That's how bad the hub for the rotors are bad. I don't think the pads are really bad though, but the rotors are definitely, maybe whenever they did, they only swap the pads, never the rotors, because the rotors you can see. Overall though, it's not bad at all, but I hear a noise here coming from this size when you drive. So we're gonna swap everything here as far as brakes and suspension goes, and as you can see, we're gonna put everything brand new rotors and pads and new suspension. So I found this kit, believe it or not, on Amazon, but it's pretty good. I saw a bunch of reviews of it. I'll leave a link below if you want a Mini Cooper. But the good thing about this, we don't need to compress the spring. We just remove the ones there and we put this one on. I'm not gonna do the rears though. The rears are pretty good. I check it, but the front, it's an entire upgrade as far as the brake and suspension goes. But this is not only it, right? We have a big mess here to deal with, and a big one to deal here with. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the bumper, because then I have more room, and while I do body work, this car is gonna stay here, right? So we're gonna remove the bumper now, get rid of the bumper, and we're gonna start swapping the struts. I realize that sometimes spend too much time to try to fix it. But what I mean is, you know, I work on the rear calipers. You guys didn't see because it's just a brake job. I don't want to show you that much because, to be honest, it's all the same at the end of the day. But what happened here is the rear calipers were so bad. I think nobody ever changed the pads on it. The pads were horrible. Everything is here. So what I decided to do, I couldn't, you know, even use a piston tool to bring the piston back. I couldn't do that at all. So it didn't work. I was like, you know what, I might as well just put a new calipers, new pads, new everything. So as you can see here, I removed everything. That's the suspension from the, which I'm gonna talk about. Here's the front caliper. Here's the rear caliper, which was locked. You see, I could not bring that back. It is what it is. So I was like, you know, let's do this car right. This car is gonna be nice. So I bought brand new calipers. Look at this, calipers, brackets, and we're gonna put a new suspension. So everything you see here, it's coming apart. When we're done, this thing here is gonna be completely different and new. All the brakes new, all the suspension new. This car is gonna be so much better though, so much better. Whoa, new brakes. Man, what a difference. Don't mind the bolting here. I'm getting this tonight, so I'm gonna swap. I just wanna make sure that I can put it in and move forward, because we're gonna do all three actually, because we did one already. This kind of thing, it's like either you waste time trying to fix those old brakes. This car is almost a 11 years old car, which is not that old, but it's too old. So either you try to fix that and waste time, like I could try, rebuild it and everything, but I paid 150 bucks for the calipers in front, another 120 bucks for the calipers and brackets on the back, plus 210 bucks for all of new rotors and pads. So all in, we are 500 bucks. I know it's 500 bucks, but hey, it's brakes. That needs, it is, you know, it is what it is. You gotta have brakes. And I don't have to paint it, because I think I'm gonna do this car with red accents. I was going to do white accents, but, oh, by the way, there's also the struts. The struts was for the two on the front. The backs are pretty good, so I don't have to bother, but was 130 bucks for the both with the springs and everything. So you cannot beat that, right? So now next step is get all four mounted, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with the bumper and the wheels, which tires are pretty good. That's why I don't want to swap the wheels unless I get a really good deal. We'll see. As you guys know, the bumper had a damage, which is here. I'm gonna do my best to repair myself, because by the time you buy a bumper and you do all the things, it's gonna be too much money, and I want to stay on the budget. So as you can see here, I'll probably try to fix everything here and this crack here too. So let's see, I will try to do my best to do this the best way I can. The car is right now sitting here because one of the calipers I damaged, the valve bleed, so I'm waiting for the replacement, so then I can put the car back, and you see all the brake fluid is there. So the car is sitting right here, of course with no bumper. But right now what I'm gonna try to do as fast as I can, as the best I can, is try to make this bumper brand new again. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start removing all the pieces and parts, like the license plate, bracket, the little fog light, this piece here, because I'm gonna paint it, everything. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Alright, this is what I did so far, right? You saw the crack, so I put some tape in here so the crack can stay in place. Doesn't really matter because we're gonna put a bottom filler. I sand it down here with 100 grit, just so the filler and the crack repair can stick on it. And this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use the JB plastic bonder. That's just to make sure that everything is not going in place, and then we're gonna use body filler, right? I'm gonna use this drywall tape. I think it's gonna help a lot. It's like 15 minutes to dry and, you know, be super hard. And then I'm gonna spray something like just to blend it in, like silver-ish, maybe a primer, just, you know, it goes on. And then we're gonna do body work on the front. Meanwhile, since I'm there, I'm gonna clean this up, and I think I'm gonna spray with trim paint, just so it looks better, because this thing is kind of beat up, right? It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be better than actually it is. So I think that's what I'm gonna do now. In here was pretty simple. So you guys saw that I put a tape. I was removing the tape to make sure, you know, the crack didn't open at all. So once I remove the tape, I check for, you know, if I need more body filler or not. And then the next step would be putting more body filler on top of it, on the front, and then sand it down. After sanding down, I applied the primer, and as you can see here, it was ready to paint. But you know, this was my first time doing it, and to be fair, the bumper wasn't perfect in other parts. So what I ended up doing was, instead of just trying to blend in, that was the initial idea that you were seeing here, I was like, you know what, let's do the entire thing. So I sanded down out of camera the entire bumper and prime it. So here you're gonna see the entire bumper primed, and then I will start wet sanding it. Before we put the bumper on, I want to do a AC recharge, because what's going on, it's not working. The compressor is not working. I check the fuses, I check everything. The last resource is, maybe it doesn't have antifreeze. So let's see how that goes. If it doesn't work, and that means that I need a new AC compressor, which I really don't want to do it, but it's better to do without the bumper. So I think it's the best thing to do is to do this before the bumper goes on. So this is a, you know, like a do-yourself kind of thing. I hope it works. Should work. I saw so many good reviews on it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, me, my dad, and my brother, we tried to charge this thing a couple times. We tried to check everything again, but we didn't have any luck. So my last resource was put the car back on jack stands and start work on it. All right, Mini, it's back on jack stands, and we have to change the AC compressor. As you can see here, I got a brand new one because the other one is leaking. So, but before we go there, I want to make sure that we take this one out. And as you can see here, there's no much space. So I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I'll figure something out. For sure, I'll figure something out. I just need to think about it, how I'm gonna do this, and we go from there. Maybe I'll remove all those streams here. But the bottom line is I need to take this cover out, which is almost out. It's not hard at all. And then take by the bottom, take the AC compressor is right there. It's right here. See? It's right there. So that's what needs to come off. How I'm gonna do? I'll probably, as I said, just start removing this. Lose the belt, which the thing is there's no space though. I gotta figure something out, but we will do.
When they say you need the right tool for the job, they're not lying. So I need to get a tool for the belt to make sure that the belt comes off. So that took me a couple days, so I ordered online. While waiting for the tool, I decided to paint the turbo shield, and because it was just not looking good, and you don't want to put something that looks that bad under your hood. The brand new rotors that I put it in, just for the car being sitting outside for a couple of days, they were pretty rusty. So I went ahead and grabbed a gloss black spray, and I spray all 4 rotors. I normally do this before the install. I don't know why I skipped this step, but this looks so much better. Also, on the front crossbar, I did the same application just to keep the rust out of it. Over here, the winter is pretty brutal. This just helps in the long term.
It's just a matter of removing the entire thing, and I'll let you know how that goes, right? Out with the old, in with the new. So I struggle a little bit, but hey, it's part of the process. All the connections are the same, already checked. And here, you can see how this thing goes. So I'm gonna take advantage of this to clean, because it's pretty nasty. Also, I'm gonna tie those bolts just to make sure everything is in place. And then we're gonna put this bad boy back on. Definitely not that much room. As you can see here, the corrosion is taking over. I have new O-rings for this. Comes on the new one. So yeah, let's put this bad boy back together, because I wanna do so much stuff today. Well, this is how came out the shield. We had some rust on it, so looks way better. Yeah, I got this pump and this entire system to charge. Right now it's sucking the vacuum. I'm not gonna show exactly how it is, because there are so many videos out there, but I got exactly what you need to charge an AC system. So right now we are pulling the vacuum out of the line, because as you can see here, the vacuum is showing minus 30 on the vacuum side. So we need to make sure that this is stable, that there's no leak. So I'll catch you guys back when I'm gonna charge, but for you it's like a couple seconds, right?
During the charging process, I was having trouble because the compressor wasn't kicking in, and you need the compressor to kick it in so you can add more Freon. So I spent literally days trying to figure out, and I noticed that the problem was the fuse. I was looking for the clutch fuse for the compressor, but the Mini Cooper doesn't have it. The thing the Mini Cooper has is the third vent. So after a long time researching, I found that the third vent is linked to the AC compressor clutch. So once I fix it, I was able to charge the entire system. AC was nice and cold and working.
Well, as you can see, it's a long journey. Some frustration along the way, as you saw. First, just so you guys know what happened. I was doing the bumper, and I didn't paint the bumper by myself. And the reason why I didn't paint the bumper by myself, two reasons. One, I was in a crunch time to try to get this car done, even though it didn't happen. And the other reason was the heat that was going on in New Jersey was super hot, super humid. There's no way I couldn't paint without a booth. So I talked to my friends from Urban Vinyl Wraps, and they paint that for me. I did everything else. Everything else was done by me. I fixed it, I primed it, I did everything. I even bought the paint and a clear coat, but they did everything else. So thank you so much, guys, my friends from Urban Vinyl Wraps, to hook me up on that one, because that was very hard. And as you can see here, the bumper is painted and ready to go to the car. The other struggle I went to was the AC. You guys saw all the AC going on. The AC clutch would not engage by any means, so I faced a lot of issues with it, but I got it. The problem was I charged the system, and if you have a Cooper, this is would be your problem. As you can see here, if you look at the diagram, you see here the 50 amp is this one, but as you can see here just say vent, but that one is the one that engaged the clutch as well. So that was missing on this car, and I could not figure out why. So I read the codes and everything, did all my research, and it didn't work, but ended up to being that 50 amp fuse. And now the system, it's all charged, everything is ready to go. Yeah, so far that's what I have been going through this car. Next episode, we're gonna put the bumper back on, and we're gonna do a full detail on this car. Even new wheels. Man, this car is gonna come a long way. I bought so many stuff for it. I decided to take you guys on the journey. Now it's time to get back to work. I'm gonna start recording as soon as this one is done. I'm gonna start putting the bumper on and doing all the cosmetic stuff, new wheels, a bunch of trim work, and I think it's gonna come out great. Let's see. I think, as I said, I start working on the car, I start loving the car. So I can't wait to drive in so far now everything is working. Now we just need to put the car back together and take it for a ride. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Never forget, enjoy life and work hard for it.